Hey guys, Deju22 here, and welcome to the main event of SmackDown. The show, as well as the main event, is brought to you by MuchGames.ca, and if you thought the War Games match that I was a part of the last time we had an Elimination Chamber involved was brutal, I have a feeling this match could be even more so, being that it is every man for himself. There are no more teams in this. Even though, let's run down the list of competitors. First and foremost, let's start with the champion. The champion in question is Norman Harmon Lundquist, or NHL for short, defending the Internet Championship within the structure of the Elimination Chamber. However, his opponents include two of his teammates from the Ascension in Dani Derpinsano and Ten. And the remaining opponents, one of them is a member of the industry, my man, Paul Levine, but it also involves the Newfoundlanders, both of them, including Matthew Cole, who we saw earlier in the show, but unfortunately he couldn't get past the Great Khali. So, which suffices to say that had he won the match, he would not even be in this match, but he wanted to be in it. He wanted to redeem himself. And his tag team partner, NewfieBangaa, is also in this match. So, even though on paper it looks to be 3-on-3, in practice, it's every man for himself. In fact, the Ascension, all three members involved in this match, know that. The Newfoundlanders know that. And Paul, he already knew it. With that said, let's begin. Okay, so we begin with the champion and Paul Levine. In fact, it was not too long ago that both these men were involved in a match like this, but it was 3-on-3. This time around, it is every man for himself, so Levine does not have to worry about being doubled or triple teamed, at least not in this matchup. But even so, to start as one of the first two men, especially if you're the champion is at a complete disadvantage because in addition to going up against 5 men that want to win the championship, to start the match only increases the odds against him. I mean, of course, Levine has the same odds, but he's not the champion. He has nothing to lose and so much to gain if he manages to win. And, well, here comes NewfieBangaa. Now, interestingly enough, Levine as well as the Newfoundlanders are indeed Newfoundlanders. And they all grew up together, but I picked Paul as a 5th member because I was 1 member short and I needed help. So, it would not surprise me one bit if the Banga, as well as Paul Levine got it on, and vice versa. And vice versa, as well as Matthew Cole getting it on with Paul Levine. And I don't mean it like that, folks. Don't take it out of context. Otherwise, you're going to make a real enemy out of me, especially in the comment section. But then again, it's neither here or there, so let's just move on. Or as NewfieBangaa would always say in his videos, anyways! Let's move on. Anyway, number 4 is 10, and he's definitely going to go after Paul Levine. And let's not forget the problems that those two have, especially Levine and 10. It stems months ago when 10 was supposed to have a match with his own fellow teammate, Derpinsano, and Paul Levine filled in for him. At the time, we didn't know what it was for, but apparently 10 paid him off, only to backstab him at the end of the match when Paul Levine actually beat Dani Derpinsano, which was a huge victory, being that Derpinsano was the then WWE champion. And of course 10 would later attack him, and it was later revealed that the whole thing was just a setup to put Paul on the shelf. Well, they weren't successful, so while Paul has more or less settled his issues with the Ascension, he has yet to settle his issues with 10 personally, and it looks like Derpinsano is going to help 10 go after Paul Levine. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Matthew Cole competed in a match earlier tonight, and he got so lucky. He's going to enter last, so he'll have just enough rest. Meanwhile, the 5 men that have entered in the match prior will be weakened just enough, so we'll find out if that handicap will indeed help him. Wait, no, pinfall, but no pinfall count. Let me just readjust the camera here, okay. Excuse me. And finally we have Matthew Cole. And it looks like the champion is going to go right after him. And uh-oh, wait a minute. What's Paul Levine going to do here? Paul, what's he doing? Uh-oh. Oh, wait, a skull-crushing finale on NHL. Meanwhile, Paul Levine just got jiggy with it against NewfieBangaa. Meanwhile, wait, what's Matthew? Oh, wait, that's a camel clutch on the champion. And what? Paul Levine just used NewfieBangaa's own move against him. Wait a minute. One, no, kick out. But yeah, he just used NewfieBangaa's own move against him. In other words, he karate chopped the Banga using his own move. And it looks like the Newfoundlanders are indeed going to go after their countrymen, even though it is every man for himself. That's pretty much as far as the relationship goes. And now 10 and Levine are going to go right back at each other. And 10, here's the problem with 10. The problem with 10 is not so much him. It's from the point of view of Paul Levine. Paul Levine, great athlete, but 10 is so damn big. You cannot go straight at him. It just does not work. And meanwhile, Derpinsano going to pin Matthew Cole, but Matthew Cole's relatively fresh, even though he had a match early on. I don't see why you wouldn't go for the cover if you had the chance to. And now NewfieBangaa going to club away and pound away on Paul Levine. So far, the champion surprisingly has been eliminated. I forgot to mention that because, well, there was just so much action in the ring at that time. But yeah, the champion is gone, so that means we will have a new champion. The question is, who's it going to be when this is all over, man? I'll tell you one thing, I'm glad I'm not in there. One, I mean, because the last time I was, or the last 2 times rather, I remember I had a chance to win the WWE Championship, and I didn't. Or actually, no, that was the World Heavyweight Championship. Sorry, I got my championships confused, but even so, I had a chance to win it, and I couldn't do it, but it wasn't for the lack of trying. And a Hurricane Rana on to Derpinsano. And then a knee right to the head of 10. And wait, did 10 get busted open with that? I can't see because of the camera angles as it is. But it looks like the Banga and... Oh, 10 is pissed. 10 is pissed. But it looks like Levine is going to go right after... Wait, what the hell is he doing? What's 10 doing? Well, whatever 10 was going to do, NewfieBangaa decides to deliver a back suplex. And is this it? No. Yep. 10 has indeed been busted open. In fact, he got busted open by that knee right to the head by Paul Levine. And now Levine has 10 right where he wants him. Down and out and about to go to sleep. Although the Banga delivers a dragon suplex with a pinfall cover. No. And wait a minute. Black Spruce onto 10. Wait a minute. Derpinsano with his feet on the ropes. Nope. Doesn't do it. 1, 2, 3. And Paul Levine gets his revenge on 10. So, as far as 10 and Levine are concerned, their matter has finally been settled. Paul Levine got his revenge. And now, wait a minute. What's he doing? Pepsi Twist. Pepsi Twist a la CM Punk. Onto the Banga. So we're down to 4 men, and 2 of them are the Newfoundlanders. Wait a minute. Levine has a camel clutch onto the Banga, NewfieBangaa, and the Banga, I think he passed out. Yep, he's gone. So now 1/2 of the Newfoundlanders are finished. So you have a member of the Newfoundlanders, you have a member of the Ascension, and then you have a member of the Industry. So you have one of each still remaining. And a back suplex bomb onto Dani Derpinsano. But now he turns his attention to his countryman, Paul Levine. Then a spinning heel kick onto Matthew Cole, and that actually busted him open. And now Matthew Cole is in deep trouble now. And I think this is going to be even worse. Look at this. Oh, and then a kicking combination onto the head. That last shot from both of them. Whoa, I'm surprised he kicked out. Not even a 1 count. Oh, wait a minute. Cross arm neck breaker. And now look at this. Derpinsano getting jiggy with it. Oh no, wait a minute. Paul Levine steals his pin. 1, 2. No, kick out. I'm surprised he kicked out of it. Wait a minute. 1, 2. No. Got out of it. Now goes for another pinfall. 1, 2, 3. And he finally eliminates Matthew Cole, and now we're down to Paul Levine and Derpinsano. In fact, these 2 men were the last 2 men in the final WWE Championship match when we had that title, and now we now just have the unified, or not the unified, the undisputed championship now. But yeah, they were the last 2 men in that Battle Royal style match that I was a part of. And Paul Levine managed to win. And it was against the same guy, Derpinsano. So we'll find out if history will repeat itself, or if Derpinsano, and as he gets pissed, will find a way to redeem himself from the last time that these 2 men last faced each other. Wait a minute. No, kick out. And also, Levine has been in since the start of the match. Wait a minute. He's got the... He's got the Ascension lock. The Ascension lock onto Paul Levine. And the ropes cannot save him. He's got to get out of this hold by himself. Otherwise, he may have to tap. And unfortunately, that's exactly what he had to do. Otherwise, he could have risked his career and his life if he hadn't. But the winner and new internet champion, Dani Derpinsano. I'll tell you one thing, Derp, as I call him, short for Derpinsano, by the way. But yeah, Derpinsano, he finally won, or he won this type of matchup for the second time. In fact, in not counting any war game matches that he had previously, I mean, in those matches he's won and won, meaning he's won one and he's lost one. But in this type of matchup where it was every man for himself, he has won 2 of 2 that he's been a part of. So this is his style of match. I mean, but then again, when you grow up in Brooklyn and you grow up later in Buffalo, I mean, those neighborhoods are the toughest to live in. I mean, when you've been in a gang for so long, you know exactly what you need to do, and that's street fight. And this was his night. And as for Paul Levine and Matthew Cole, I mean, they were so close to winning this thing, but it was not to be. But until then, stay tuned for Heat. Until then, this is Deju22 signing off. Have a good night, everybody.